Hey, thank you everyone for attending my session. It's really a pleasure to be here at Devoxx. I was here 10 years ago. It was still called Javapolis. It was my first conference ever. And I'm really happy to come back 10 years after as a speaker. So today I will talk to you about KeyCloak and how to easily secure your application, front-end application, back-end application. We can secure anything. Just a few words about myself. So I'm Sebastien Blanc. I'm half French, half Dutch, which makes me a bit a Belgian guy, but not really. I work for Red Hat, and I got my notification. Whoa, sorry. I work on the KeyCloak project. Before that, I was working on the mobile project of Red Hat. I love open source. And if you want to follow my trolls on Twitter, that's my Twitter handle. Okay, I just have really few slides because it's tools and actions. You don't really care about slides. You want to see code and how things work. But I need some slides just to put in context to give you the big picture of what KeyCloak is. Okay, security. Doing security is hard, and especially for middleware developers, they hate to do that, but you need to do it. You need to add security. And maybe sometimes you will do it yourself. That's probably the worst idea, because you will always do it wrong. Or you will use frameworks like Spring Security, stuff like that. And even with that, it pollutes your code. You have to handle the users, the walls, stuff that don't really have to do with your app, with the core business of your app. And what happens when you create another app and another app? You have to do it all over again. It would be awesome if you could delegate all these security concerns and user management to an external person, an external server. And that's what KeyCloak does. And here I'm sure you recognized Kevin and Whitney. So Kevin doing the bodyguard, he's taking care of the security of Whitney. I love to put a slide. It's always a challenge to put a slide of a bodyguard in a tech conference. KeyCloak, quickly. What is KeyCloak? So KeyCloak is an authentication server, also for authorization and identity management. You just deploy it. It's open source, of course. Everything that I will show you is open source. And more importantly, if you want to contribute, to fix a bug, add some doc, well, just send a PR. We will be more than happy. So KeyCloak, for authentication, it handles OpenID, of course. That's the cool kid on the block. SAML, the old kid on the block. Gerber was even older. And that's a server. Then your applications, they need adapters to talk with this authentication server. So we have adapters for almost every type of application. So for Wildfly, Tomcat, Spring Boot, Node.js. And for more on the front end, we have a JavaScript library to protect your web apps. We have native libraries for the mobile clients for iOS and Android. And everything that I will show you is also accessible by REST endpoints, or you can extend with your Spice as well. Okay, KeyCloak, how does it work? So KeyCloak has the main concept of a realm. That's a really difficult word for me to say in English, realm. That's why I say territory. Territory. KeyCloak protects territories. So you said to KeyCloak, this is my territory, and in my territory, I got applications that I want to protect. So that's what we have here. We have this island, really nice territory. There we have GEE land, the old land where nobody wants to go. Not so cool. We get Angular land. That's a really cool place to go. Everyone wants to go there. We got the microservices land. We're not sure what is happening there. And Node.js land. Very funny place. And what happens? So you arrive with your boat there, and you want to visit the island. And you arrive at Angular land, and there's custom control. And there you need to identify yourself. And there's where you log in. Exactly, you arrive with your boat there, and he says, hey, you get a redirect, so a real HTTP redirect, and it sends you back to this tiny island that is KeyCloak. And it says, hey, you have to identify yourself. You identify yourself, and if it's all okay, you get a stamp. And what's that stamp? Well, it's a token. But it's not just a simple weirdo numbers and alphanumerics token. It's a JSON Web Token. And a JSON Web Token is a token that also contains some payload. Who you are, which walls you are, when will your token expire, a lot of stuff. JSON Web Token is really an interesting subject. Now it's the tools in action. I don't have time to talk about it, but let me just switch. Tomorrow, our friend Uber would just give this talk before me. Will give a conference talk. It's Wednesday. On Wednesday, on JSON Web Token. So I really advise you to go there because it's a really interesting subject. Okay, back to my presentation. So you get your token, and now you can visit. You can get everywhere on the island where you are authorized for. And basically, that's what KeyCloak is. Last thing, and then we will start for 20 minutes of demos. KeyCloak, how do you deploy it? How do you use it? Well, since we are all developers here, sure, you fork the repo, and you build it yourself, and you deploy it. Well, we have also a standalone version that you just unzip and run. We have an Wildfly EAP subsystem. That means if you have already a Wildfly application server running and you just want this one, you can add KeyCloak as a subsystem. And of course, we got Docker images. Okay, so let's start with a demo. And what we will do, we will start with a really old school app, a really school GEE app that is using GSPs and stuff like that. And we will see if we can secure that. And from that, we will extract a microservice, and then we will add a nice Angular frontend. And for all of these components, we will try to secure them. And that will give you a nice introduction to KeyCloak. So what's the app that we are going to protect? Let me go here. What we will protect is the product app. Awesome app. Look at this GSP. I'm sure it has been years you didn't see that. And is that familiar for you? Well, maybe you need to change to go to another job. But yeah, that's just to show you that even this really old school app, we will be able to secure it. But before securing it, let's build it, deploy it, just to have a look of this app. Okay, let's go here, and maybe I can increase a bit. That's maybe a bit too much. Okay, let me do a Maven clean package. That will make my war. And let me copy that. My product war. Let me copy that to my Wildfly server, standalone, deployment. Yes. So I got my server running here. So it has been deployed, should be. And if we go to my local host and my product portal, that is the most exciting landing page ever of my product portal. And that is the unprotected page. And if we go on the product listing, we got the list of products. Wow, awesome. So my boss, he loves that much that application. He said, but Seb, you really need to secure that because we want only have authenticated persons that access this product app. Okay, so let's see how we can protect this application. And what I will do here, I'm using branches instead of live coding. Way easier. Okay, step 1. Let's go back to our app. So first thing we can see here, I didn't change anything to this GSP. I just added some stuff around log out, log in, but the core business hasn't changed. What I change is my web.xml. Oh, I forgot to show you the earliest version, but what I got here is familiar for those that had to secure application. All I did was adding a security constraint. And basically what I say here is, well, when you try to access this URL, well, you have to be authenticated, and you need to have the role user. The role that I have defined here, we got also a role admin. And the important part is here, I say, well, for the locking config, I want to use the KeyCloak method. And you will recognize that because I installed the KeyCloak subsystem. And there's one more thing that I need is, well, my application doesn't know where my KeyCloak server is running. So I need to add a small file, a descriptor, that tells him where my KeyCloak server is running, my public key, and stuff like that. That's the keycloak.json file. That is a file that we will find for whatever app that I secure with KeyCloak. We will always have this keycloak.json. So it's pretty simple. I say here which realm I want to protect, my public key, the location of my KeyCloak server, and other stuff like that. So that's really all I need. So let's see if that's changed anything. So let me build it again. Maven clean package. And let me copy the var again. Let's make sure, no, it's here. Okay, so let's go back to the landing page. Okay, landing page is not protected. Exactly, that's what we want. Now, if we click on product listing, that's where the magic should happen. And if the demo gods are with me today. Okay, look. That's what I show you with this island. I arrive there, they say, hey, you need to identify yourself, and they send me back to the KeyCloak server. And here I'm in the KeyCloak server logging page, and what I can do is log in with my username, and I'm logged in. So my app is protected. But let's go back to the login screen. Let me log out. Okay. Let's go to the KeyCloak web console to see if we can tweak a bit our logging screen. Okay, let me go here. Localhost. Okay, let's go to administration console. Admin, password really difficult also, admin. Okay, let's go to my realm, Devoxx. And here's where I can configure all my applications, declare my applications, my realms, my roles, my users. Well, it's pretty standard stuff. I won't spend too much time on it because it's pretty obvious. But I want to show you the logging screen here. So what we can do, for instance, is for new users. Maybe we want, if you don't have an account, you want to register to become a new user. So yeah, let's enable that. Yeah, maybe sometimes I forgot my password, so I want KeyCloak to send me an email with my password. Let's activate that. And of course, I want the remember me because I don't want to log in all over and over. And what I do here is save that. And if I go back to my exciting product app, and that I go to the product listing, now you can see I got the remember me, I got the forget password, I can register. We can try that. Register a new user, let's call it Devoxx BE, Devoxx BE, last name Devoxx BE, email Devoxx BE at devoxx.be, password Devoxx BE. Okay, and I register here, and that logs me in at the same time. So I create a new user, and he's logged in. What you can see here, I got a link, it's manage account. What KeyCloaks also offer is for logged in users is a sort of space where they can set up their own profile. Typically, when you click on Twitter to change your profile, we got the same here. So manage account, you can change your username, last name, password, you can reset your password. You can do, yeah, everything that is around management of your own, you can do it here. And here you see the standard template that we are using for KeyCloak. But every screen, including the logging screen, register screen, this screen, it's based on templates. And it's really, really easy to adapt that so it fits your company look and feel. So, and in the KeyCloak console, you can just select a theme for your applications. Let's go back to the portal here. And so I show that to my boss. He's really happy. And he says, but Seb, I also want to have a social login. I want to log in with my Facebook account, with my Twitter account, GitHub account. Can you do that? Okay, let's see if that's easy to do. So let's log out again. And let's go back to our console here. And we got here a screen of identity providers. And here, KeyCloak can act as a broker between your app and external parties like Twitter, Facebook, Google, GitHub. And it's pretty easy to set up. So just give you an example. Yeah, since we are at Devoxx, you probably all have a GitHub account. So let me just put here dummy numbers. Okay, and I want it to be enabled. I just save it. And if I go back to my app, and I need to log in, now you will see I have my GitHub. I can log into my app using my GitHub account. So you saw I just entered dummy numbers, but I got one here. The Twitter one is a real one, and I just need to enable it. Don't look to my client secret. Okay. And if I go back to my app, okay, I got now Twitter, and if I click on Twitter, here you see the classic way of authorizing an app to log in using Twitter. So here I can just authorize the app, and it redirects me. I can update my account information, stuff like that. So you can see it's really easy to add social login even to this really old school JSP app. So my boss is really happy. He says, Seb, that's great. But the product app is so popular, everyone wants to use it. I want to extract the product service as an external service and deploy it like a microservice, because my boss heard this word and said, it's really cool. And he says, he also told me, I've been told that Java EE is old school stuff. I want Node.js. So could you make for me a microservices in Node.js that gives us a list of products? And it needs to be protected. I say, OK, so let's see how we could protect a Node.js app. So let me go back to my editor. And what we have here is a Node.js app. So it's a really simple one. That's the unprotected version. So you can see that I'm using Express, pretty standard stuff, course to handle with cross-domain stuff. And I just have this important method here. If product URL is asked, give me back a list. So let me see if this Node.js app is working. Clear that, increase. Here I do an npm start. OK, my app is running on port 3000. Let's make sure it's working. Oh, yeah, products, sorry. Product. Ah. OK, so my Node.js app is running, pretty simple. How can we secure that? So again, super live coding stuff. Git checkout. Step 1. OK. And let's go back to the editor, and let's see what has changed here. So first thing we can see is that we are using the KeyCloak npm module. Here I configure a store to handle my session. It's not needed, just to show you how it can be used. But the most important part is here I initialize my KeyCloak library. And the big difference here is in my REST endpoint that I declare here, I just pass an extra function here, and I say KeyCloak protect. That's all. And again, like my Java app, I have my KeyCloak.json file. And one interesting line here is the barrier only. That means that this app, this service, this REST service, can only be accessed by other apps that already have a token. You won't never be able to log in. A human will never be able to log in against this app. And it makes sense because there's no front end. So barrier only, we say, only accept request that contains in the header an authentication token. And again, that's all I need to do. So let me do an npm start again. And let's go back to my app. And here I got my access denied. So that means my Node.js app is protected. So what I need to do now is to change my product app. So that instead of giving back a hard-coded list, oh yeah, that's something I didn't show you. The database service. That was our database service. You see, really exciting method. We just return hard-coded list of products. We need to change that now. Now this method has to call my Node.js service to retrieve the products. So let's do that. And that will show us how to pass a token to a barrier-only protected service. So let's go here, and let's go to step 2. OK. So what I've changed here? What I do is just using an HTTP client. So here I'm using the one from Apache Common, but you can use whatever HTTP client you want. Interesting line is this one. From the HTTP serverless request, I can extract the KeyCloak security context. And from there, I will be able to get my token that I had when I logged in. And what I do is just adding an header with the authorization, barrier, my token. And I called here, you can see my Node.js service. So that's really all I have to do. And again, let's build it And let's deploy that. Okay, should be deployed. Okay, let's go to my, where is my app running? No, it's not there. Okay, doesn't matter. Let's go here, localhost, product portal. Okay, let's go to the product listing. I need to log in, Sebi. And here, well, not really exciting to see, but this list of products came from my Node.js service. And it's all protected. So that was the second step. And now my boss, he says, cool, Seb, but now I want a web client using Angular, because we want to go away from this crappy GSP stuff. So can you make an Angular client for me that consumes this Node.js service? And of course, it needs to be protected as well. So let's take a look on how to protect a web application using Angular. And that's my third demo. This here is Angular project. And let's take a look at the app. So it's a standard AngularJS app. And what I do here, I'm just using the KeyCloak JavaScript library. Again, I got a KeyCloak.json, as you can see here, but pretty standard stuff like I showed you before. And okay, what I do here, I initialize my KeyCloak library, and I say when it starts, login is required, and that will do the redirect magic for me. And here I do some exciting Angular stuff. I create a factory, stuff like that. But the other important stuff is each time that I will do a request to my Node.js service, I need to put authentication token in my header. And how can you do that easily with Angular? Well, you have the concept of interceptors. And here I intercept each HTTP request, and what I do simply is adding the authorization header in my request. So I'm sure that each request will contain this token. So let's see if this works. And I got here my Angular client. So, clear. So I showed you some Maven, some NPM. Let's do some grunt now. Okay, git serve. Here we go. And that's my app. Okay, let me log in. Sebi. And let's load my products. And here my products are loaded. So exactly the same. I got my Angular app running. And I have just 1 minute 30 left. That went really quickly. I have 1 minute to protect a mobile app. Okay, let's do this challenge. Yes, I like that. Okay, I can do it. 1 minute. So this awesome app is built with Bootstrap, and it's responsive, and I'm using Cordova to build hybrid apps. So basically, I wrap a web app into a native app. And I use exactly the same code that I showed you for the Angular app. And I can just, if I go to my hybrid app, I can just deploy my app. So here it's building an APK. So now you're seeing some Gradle. So you see everything almost. Okay, let's go to my app and look. Hey, that's my app. That's a native app. I can put that in the store and become really rich because the product app is so awesome. Sebi. And can I load my products? I can load my products. So, and that is a real APK. So, And of course, we have native libraries as well. So that was really quick, but my goal was really to show you how, starting from a really old school app, going to Node.js, to AngularJS, to mobile apps, how easy it is to secure your apps with KeyCloak. I'm here the whole week, so if you have questions about KeyCloaks, you want to see other demos, how to integrate with Spring Boot, for instance, I have a really nice demo for that as well. How to use OTP, one-time password, integration with SAML. Just ask me. It will be a pleasure for me to answer your questions. Thank you, everyone. Questions? No? Yes?
Where do you store all this data?
Where do I store this data? You have the choice. We can connect with different databases, with Postgres, MySQL, and we also have integration with MongoDB and some stuff with Infinity Span, basically. But it's encrypted, yeah. Well, yeah. For the details of the encryption, I'm not the right person, but we are doing great stuff there. Okay, thank you.